Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Week 1 Hidden Upgrade Dynasty Weekly Update. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. Appreciate all the feedback last week, the suggestions, the positive feedback was awesome to hear. So keep that coming. We're going to get right into this one here. And let's get started with looking at our games from last week. All right. So we're going to start off here with Tulane. Coach Rick Dalton getting a huge win over an FCS school. Pussy. Pussy. Sorry. Wow. Cough is getting really, really bad recently. Tulane gets a huge win over FCS West. Obviously, FCS school. That's what you expect. Went out and did what he was supposed to do. So we'll see if he can continue that success against a real team coming up shortly. Kentucky, wow, tough loss. Had a chance to go back and watch the film on that one. Man, you throw a couple pick sixes at the beginning of the game and you get the Joey special done on you a couple times. It's tough. Coach Joey's going to have to find a way to bounce back and hopefully turn the ship around, because losing to Akron is definitely going to hurt a lot. So hopefully they can turn that ship around. And then we have our game of the week, which we'll actually dig a little bit deeper into here in a second. But Virginia Tech, Suburban Meyer pulls out a very close one-score win. Freshman quarterback, God Levesque, had some issues, to say the least. 4 interceptions in one half. 4 interceptions. They started to try to keep the ball on the ground after that in the second half, but man, that quarterback's got a lot of learning to do, or he's in for a rude awakening. But the freshman halfback looked great, so we'll see if he can continue that success. UConn gets a huge win, huge actually in conference win against Arizona, pulling out the 31-28 victory. Cal, very, very big rivalry win against UCLA. Congrats to Coach Sleeper for that one. Wyoming, Coach Big Papa Jr. following in his daddy's footsteps and getting another huge win, 43-0 against BYU. If this is going to continue, it's looking like his son is going to do the same thing the father was doing, man. It'll be interesting to see. We actually have a highlight from their game a little bit later on. Actually, you know what? Maybe we see that highlight now. Let's take a look at it, actually. Pull it up here. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this. So we got Wyoming dropping back here. Shotgun formation. Hits Stevenson on the crossing route. Beautiful spin move. Beautiful. Takes to the house for the touchdown. Man, you get plays like that, it's going to be hard to beat. So yeah, that was amazing. Great play there from Coach Big Papa Jr. and appreciate you sending in that clip. Friendly reminder, everybody, send in your clips. Nobody really sent me anything, which can't blame me too much for. We haven't done this at all yet, so completely understand why you're not used to doing it. But yeah, send me the clips so we can show them on the show. I found another clip from Joey's game just because I was trying to fill it out a little bit. So we can actually take a look at that one now.
Still the first half.
So here we're going to see start. Akron and why they won the game against Joey. Hits Joey with his own Joey special. Joey got Joey special.
And he'll take it in. They couldn't get.
That's tough. But yeah, so Joey, obviously, he's got some work to do. And not to try to pick on you, Joey, but man, that was a tough loss. That was a tough one. Hopefully you can bounce back on that one. All right, so we're going to move on here. We got LSU taking down San Jose State in pretty convincing fashion, 43-21. And then Wisconsin, Coach Eric loses to Notre Dame, actually loses twice to them, according to this, which fair shout out to everybody in the Dynasty here. Don't play games more than once. If it continues to happen, there will be a punishment that comes down from the commissioner's office. Play your game one time. I understand that issues happen from point to point. Like, there's not always going to be perfect internet. There's going to be issues that come up. But if we see a consistent pattern, a punishment will come down from the commissioner's office. Coach Eric loses a tough game, though, to Notre Dame. It was always going to be a tough game. Notre Dame, obviously a top 10 team. They're gonna put on their best. I don't even know what I was trying to say there. They're gonna put on their best performance, and obviously they did that there in this game, beating Wisconsin 20-14. And then lastly, we have Coach Sam, Florida, just absolutely demolishing NC State. Coach Dusty's old school. So yeah, he's obviously making a big statement here early on to show that he's the guy to beat. Going to move on here, look a little bit deeper into our game of the week last week, where we saw Virginia Tech and Illinois face off. Not much of a offensive showcase, honestly. Obviously, Virginia Tech had 356 yards, but a lot of that was rushing. There was a lot of issues with turnovers, which we'll see here in a little bit. But they did quite well. Holding on the defensive side. There was a couple blown plays on the defensive side that need to get worked on. Coach Suburban was very critical of his quarterback, wants to hold him accountable, very critical of his DBs and how they played and how they gave up big plays. You know, obviously they only gave up 10 points, but he's still looking for better out of them. And take a look down here. As you can see, 4 turnovers. It's impressive when you can win a game 4 turnovers to 2 and still come out with a 7-point win. And obviously a big part of that is the time of possession. The Suburban's actually continuing his mantra from last season. You want to keep the ball as much as possible. So he did that here with nearly, over 15 minutes of possession time, which is always going to be huge. All right, let's move on here. We're going to take a look at next week's schedule. So we got Kentucky facing Cincinnati, a Cincinnati team that was rough last year. Hopefully that will be a good bounce-back game for Coach Joey. We got Virginia Tech facing West Virginia in a rivalry game. So that'll be interesting to see if Coach Suburban can continue the success from last week and get his quarterback back on track. Tulane faces South Alabama. Still not much of a team, but, they're ramping their way up. They're getting ready for in-season conference play. So we'll see how that game goes. Coach Daniel, Oklahoma State, a little in-conference game there for him. UConn playing Maryland, Colorado with the rivalry game against Colorado State. We're going to see who is the team to beat in Colorado. So that'll be an interesting one to see. Then we got Florida and LSU. We got a big game here between Coach Sam and Coach Steven. We'll see who comes out on top. Last year, Coach Steven came out on top. They were in Death Valley. This year, they're in the Swamp. So we'll see if that plays a part in who wins this game. And obviously, this should come to no surprise, our game of the week, LSU, Florida. Top 25 matchup. 2 big teams with a lot of history. So, and obviously it's a rivalry game. So this is going to be a huge game. So look forward to look out on the Discord to see if they're able to stream the game, if you're able to watch it. Otherwise, we'll just keep an eye out for Discord on the updates. I think Coach Sam has been streaming his game, so we might be able to watch this one live. Let's cross our fingers on that one and see if that happens. All right, moving on. We got our players of the week. Sadly, this week, none of the national players of the week were Big 12. We got a defensive player of the week from Akron who had an absolutely ridiculous game against Kentucky. 17 tackles, 2 interceptions, 1 forced fumble, and 1 touchdown. Crazy numbers. And then offensive player of the week from Liberty, played an FCS school. I'm going to say it doesn't really count, so we're not going to really even look at those stats. Speaking of which, defensively for the Big 12, we have Cade Olson, who had a big game against a FCS school, 4 tackles, 3 sacks. And then we have LSU, who had a big game against San Jose State, 17 carries, 97 yards, 183 receiving yards. Huge game. Halfback with double the receiving yards over his running yards is big. So huge shout out to Coach Steven for that one. I'm guessing Caden Durham's probably going to be in the Heisman race, but again, the Heisman race doesn't update until around week 4 or 5. I can't remember exactly when, so I have to keep an eye out for that and see what that turns into. We're going to look at the standings here. We have a little bit of movement here with California, Tulane, and Virginia Tech jumping up a little bit to the 12, 11, and 10 spots. And then we got LSU jumping to 17, Florida to 19. And yeah, that is it for the players. So a lot of movement, a lot of positive movement. So we'll help to keep that going, get some more people in the top 25 here shortly. We're going to take a look here at the standings for the Big 12. Not much to look at. We're way too early in the season, but UConn is off to a great start. 2-0, 1-0 in conference play. So that they're definitely the team to beat right now. It is super early, but they're the team that's on top. So we'll see if that continues. And now we're going to take a look at who's on the hot seat, which we actually don't really have too many people on the hot seat, but Shane Falco is still on the hot seat, mainly from last year. Obviously, we know last year he kind of fumbled last year with his quarterback play. So we'll see if he can bounce back. He obviously got the first win. We'll see if he can continue to get the second win and bring that and get himself off that hot seat. Everybody else is looking relatively decent. Coach Eric is in a little bit of danger right now, but still kind of secure in his job. Everybody else is chilling. We're going to take a look at the offense. UConn, my God. I actually looked at this. UConn offensively is killing it. 1,030 yards through 2 games. 2 games, 1,030 yards. That is not only number 1 in the Big 12, but that is number 1 in the nation right now. They have the top offense in the nation. So Colorado pretty close behind, Tulane pretty close behind. Well, actually, that's not even true. They're not close behind. They're there, but again, they've only played 1 game. UConn's played 2, so we can't put too much weight into this as right now. But still a great start for UConn. So shout outs to Coach Dynasty, what he's doing over there. Defensively, Wyoming killing it. Coach Big Papa Jr. carrying over his father's legacy with a great defense. We got Tulane, Florida, Colorado, Virginia Tech, all with very respectable low numbers for the defensive side. And then the turnover differential, just like his father, Coach Big Papa Jr., 4 turnover, plus 4 positive turnover differential. Daniel right there behind him as per usual. Riley right there behind him as per usual. A little bit of a different story from last year. Colorado, Shane Falco is up there with a positive turnover differential right now, but we'll see if that can continue. And that is it for the weekly update, guys. I appreciate you tuning into this. Again, reminder, send in your clips. We want to get more clips on this. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the clips being here. So just remember, whenever you do something cool, hold that button down in the middle of your controller to record it, send it to me. And then also if you see something crazy, like if you see a glitch, we want to see glitches too. That'd be cool. We can include that as well. But appreciate you guys as always. Good luck to everybody in their games this week. We actually are going to advance on Saturday, which will be the 8th. So Saturday the 8th at midnight, we will advance. It will also advance if everybody readies up. So remember, once you're done with your stuff, please ready up because it will advance the week quicker and get us moving a little bit quicker. But outside of that, I appreciate you guys. I hope you have a great day and an even better tomorrow.